Hey, okay. I just got my own hair mineral analysis retest back, and I thought this would be a great opportunity to explain how this test works, show you what it actually looks like, and explain one of the key things. It's crazy how much I'm seeing this in my clients and what I've learned from it that is really helpful for us all to know. First of all, this test has sort of become baseline testing in my practice. I've used it with almost all of my clients because it gives us this different angle in, this different view that you simply can't get in blood work. So, particularly if you're dealing with low energy, fatigue, brain fog, muscle soreness, those kind of hypothyroid symptoms too, like stubborn weight or blood sugar ups and downs, you get hangry, all of this, even hormone stuff, we can get insight from what your mineral status is. Um, I've spent a lot of time learning how to use this test. It's helped me a lot with my own health and with my own clients. So, the thing about using hair, I'm not sure if I mentioned this is a hair test. The hair is a really accurate, it's a direct record. It's sort of like a fossil with a record of our mineral status over the last, say, 3 to 4 months, because what we're looking at is the hair that's closest to the scalp. Really small amount, only about a half a teaspoon is what gets sent in for the sample. But what makes this different from blood is always going to maintain homeostasis, so maintain balance. pH level. It's going to draw minerals in that, right? So that's going to affect those electrolytes we look at in blood, even to a certain extent, some of the nutrient markers. So really what's powerful is looking at blood next to hair rounds out that picture. Blood is extracellular, what's in the blood. Hair is technically intracellular. So it's more representative. We know what's getting in the cell, what's getting in, what's not, what's being lost. And we see these patterns and they fit with what symptoms are going on. We can meet the body exactly where it's at, give it what it needs. The other side of that coin is what depletes our minerals, stress, and who isn't stressed these days more and more and more. And not just emotional, mental, life stress, but physical stress that's going to chew through our minerals too, because those minerals are needed both to make stress hormones, to break them down in all of those reactions. Minerals are what make it work. So we're going to blow through those. And so we have to come at it through both sides. Both sides, we have to look at it from both sides of that coin. But this test at least gives us, we know where we're at. We know where we're starting. And so I like to run this. So far, I've run it on myself about every 6 months, see how things change, and then can adjust what we're doing diet-wise, lifestyle-wise, supplement-wise, and can really tailor supplements too. I'll talk about that at the end. That part is really cool. So I'm going to share my screen so I can show you exactly um, what I'm talking about here as we go. So this is what the report looks like. This is that hair mineral analysis report. The first chart here is where we're going to focus today. The nutritional elements, these are our minerals. So particularly the first four, you can see calcium, magnesium, sodium, potassium. These are considered the primary minerals. What that means is these are kind of the gatekeeper minerals, and all minerals, what we need to understand, and I feel like doesn't get talked about as much. We talk about minerals in isolation, but they don't work that way. People say, oh, you're not sleeping as well, or you have muscle soreness, take magnesium. But magnesium doesn't work in isolation. It needs other minerals for it to work. It's really more about this overall mineral balance than these one-off mineral things. So we can't just take magnesium, we can't just take calcium without looking at the bigger picture. We need to know what the other minerals are doing. So this is the most common dynamic that I'm seeing on this test. You see how my magnesium here is sky high. It's off the chart. Okay. It went from this bottom row is the previous test that I did, and the top row of numbers is the most recent test. So see how it went up. I was supplementing much more magnesium, around 600 milligrams. This is considered a loss. This magnesium is not being absorbed, so it's being lost in the hair. Why? Look at where my potassium is. So this white in the middle, this is considered the optimal range, and this is where we want to be working everything to. So we want that magnesium to come down, and we want the potassium to come up, and that potassium coming up is what's going to bring the magnesium down because potassium and sodium too both work like a pump on the cell. You need those for all of our other minerals to get in the cell where they do their job, where they do their magic. So without it, that magnesium isn't being absorbed. This is happening to so many people, y'all. And this is why I'm doing this video because I want you to see it. Okay. So, what am I going to do? I am getting a lot more strategic with how much of these minerals I'm getting in my diet and just throughout the day. So my sodium, you can see it went up. I've been good about adding my sea salt to my water, salting my food more, using more Celtic sea salt. Huge fan of that. We'll talk about that one next. Today, I really want to hone in on potassium. What the strategy I'm using around potassium is there, so we need, our potassium need is huge. We need 4,700 milligrams of potassium. That sounds like a lot, right? It is a lot. And it's estimated that 2% of the population is actually getting that. That's not a lot. Because if you're not eating a whole foods diet, it's impossible. You're not going to be getting that. All fruits and vegetables are going to have potassium in it. So just starting there, obviously. But what I've found is I've discovered a few high potassium electrolytes. And I'm going to preface this with this is for informational and educational purposes only. This is not medical advice. I am not a doctor. This is based off of my own personal experience and what I have found that works well for me and my clients. Always consult with your provider who you work with before changing this up. So the first one I want to talk about is Jigsaw's potassium cocktail has 800 milligrams of potassium. Talk about a high potassium cocktail. It is quite sweet. Orange flavor. I think they have like a blue raspberry flavor too. We have the orange. Great, but I'll warn you, it is a little bit sweet. There's also Seeking Health Optimal Electrolytes. I'm going to be including some links down below this video. There will be a link to my online dispensary where all of these are in that store under mineral support, so you can easily find them. And if you can't, just message me. But Optimal Electrolyte, this is great for like a pre-workout or post-workout. It also has some creatine in there, some other things to support energy. It's got 500 milligrams of potassium. There's also Bumbleroot Foods. These use coconut water. They, I guess, dehydrate coconut water. So it has a lot of potassium, like 600 upwards of 900 milligrams of potassium per serving. So those just really boost that potassium, like gives you a head start. Because here's the thing, you can only get so much through supplements. Yes, I'm also using some supplemental potassium in my supplement couture, like I talk about, where we can tailor fit rather than getting a multivitamin off the shelf. I am tailoring supplements based off of this test to give you exactly what you need. Just as custom as it gets for your nutrient support. That's been really helpful, I think. And we get potassium in there, but we really have to be getting it through diet and using like strategically bringing in these higher potassium sources is a great way to just boost your overall daily value. So that's what I'm working on. I'm trying to be more consistent with getting those in every day. And I'm hoping that that's what I'm going to see pay off on a retest. I want to see my potassium come up and my magnesium come down. And yes, I'm also evaluating my stressors. It's been a stressful time, right? So that's what I wanted to show you today. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I just wanted to start with that main point because this is um, one, it's so common, and two, it's kind of just that place where we begin. So, some things that you can get a jump on, especially if you are dealing with some of those symptoms I mentioned, like the fatigue, the brain fog, the muscle soreness, um, like what we call exercise intolerance. You get more sore after exercise, things like that, or like Charlie horses, muscle cramps at night. That's a big sign too, potassium. So, also down below is the link to this test. I do offer this a la carte. So if you do want to find out what your own mineral status is, see if is that contributing to your fatigue, your brain fog, insomnia, anxiety, like muscle soreness, all any and all of the above. Um, you can check that out, get all the information about how to order that. I walk you through it just like this. And yeah, would love to help you out with that. If you have any questions, reach out. I'm happy to help. I'm going to stop sharing and I'll leave it with that. Thanks for watching.